Hi everyone, it's Cake Talk episode 11. I apologize for how I look because I am extremely tired. We had a very long day yesterday shooting something really fun and really special. I'm very excited. But let's get right to it. There are a ton of questions on Instagram as well as, oh no, there we go, as well as coming in on the side. So I'm just going to get started. Okay, this is from, hey, look, it's Peyton on Instagram. How do you come up with all the themes for your cakes? Well, I have a whole list of cakes I've always wanted to make. Watermelon was a big one, and I got to make that. And now I have all of you making great suggestions on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, here, of what I should make. So I had that list just keeps growing and growing and growing, as well as we try to do things that we know, people really like. Like people kept saying, make a Walking Dead cake. And I wanted to make a brain cake. So that was sort of the perfect combination. So moving right along. Okay, this is from Gabby. How long does the whole cake process take from baking the cake to making buttercream and decorating? Yes, it takes a lot longer than the 15-minute videos that you watch. In reality, as you can see in the videos, I always have my buttercream already made, my cake's already baked, my syrup is already made, and then live for camera, I am sculpting, filling, icing, covering. We film for about 14 hours straight. So if I was making a cake for a client, I probably wouldn't do that. I would take 2 days and make the cake over 2 days so that I could rest and my eyes wouldn't get tired and I wouldn't be, afraid of making a mistake because I'm so tired. But when we shoot it all in one day. So 14 hours, but in the past I've made cakes that have taken me up to 4 days. It really just depends on how hard they are and structure and all of that. So next question. Okay. Okay, I'm going to address this. I get this a lot. This is from Snish30. Hi, could you please start a vlogging channel? The answer is at the moment, no, because A, I'm always filming. B, when we're not filming, we are coming up with ideas, working on our social media, doing all kinds of things behind the scenes that you don't get to see. And the other reason mainly is that I'm the mother of a 2-year-old who wakes up running. So, and I have my husband's help and I have my mom's help, but he is still a handful. So no, I won't be starting vlogging because I'll look more tired than this all the time. Sometimes we get comments on our YouTube videos on YouTube about how tired I look. So thank you. And you're right. Next question. Okay. Oh, I should read some from the side. Oh, hi, Vidya. Vidya's here every week. Thank you so much. Okay. Hey, yo. Hey. What are some other flavors of cake you have made apart from chocolate, vanilla, and red velvet? Well, because I make a lot of sculpted cakes on the channel, I do have to choose cakes that are sturdier. That's why you see chocolate and vanilla a lot, because I can't make a strawberry shortcake, into a minion because it will fall apart. But in reality, when I used to make wedding cakes, for example, I made chocolate, vanilla, banana, chocolate banana, coconut, that's one of my favorites. We are going to do coconut and how to cake it, we'll get there. Carrot, lemon, mocha, and then I used to do a chocolate raspberry. I stopped because, quite frankly, I had to charge more because of the price of raspberries, and it took a lot of raspberries, and people never really understood that. So I ended up taking that off the list. But yeah, and then like on the side, I love to bake other cakes, just regular cakes. That's why I like doing the mega cakes with the snacks and the candy inside, because I can do a lot of fun things to it. I could throw gummy worms in it. I can dye the batter. I could dye the buttercream. I wouldn't do that in somebody's wedding cake. Unless, of course, they wanted that. Okay, next question. Let's see. Let's go back to Instagram. Hello. Oh, this is okay. This is from CYP Love Awesome. What's your best red velvet cake recipe? And do you think red velvet cake with chocolate chip would be good? Yes, that's what my watermelon cake is. Well, it's pink velvet, but that's just a color thing. Love you. You're awesome. Thank you. And you're awesome. It's in your name. So, yeah, red velvet with chocolate chips would taste delicious because red velvet cake actually does have a bit of cocoa in it, so it'll just pick up on the chocolate chips. And then my watermelon cake, Walter Melon, I did a pink velvet cake with chocolate chips, vanilla buttercream dyed to look like the cake. It was delicious. That's like one of my favorites. So yeah, and my best red velvet recipe is on my blog at howtocakeit.com. It's under the brain cake. It's actually for a deep red velvet cake because I wanted the brain to be really gory. So along with red, I actually added burgundy. You can just leave the burgundy out and it will be more red than a deep red. Okay, nice. Oh, here's a good question that I'm concerned about. It's from Tanisha Dash. How can you remove that bad smell of all-purpose flour? Now, if your flour smells bad, it is bad. Flour does go bad. It takes a while, and it usually happens because it's not stored properly. So if it's stored somewhere where it's kind of really warm or humid, it goes rancid. And when something goes rancid, you can really smell it. Any kind of grain goes rancid, and nuts go rancid, and you can really smell it. So if you open your flour and it has a very strong smell, it's probably bad. I once bought a bag of flour from the store and it was already bad. So it wasn't even, I didn't do anything to it. Who knows? Maybe it sat on a truck for too long or something like that. So if it smells really bad, it's rancid and you shouldn't use it. Next, wow. Okay, what was your biggest cake fail ever? This is from Savannah Gamble Official. Wow. Well, the biggest thing that ever happened to me, this was a long time ago. How old am I? 16 years ago. Yeah, I made a cake that was a castle. And it was great. It was really, really great. But I didn't know all the ins and outs of fondant. So when I made the turrets, like the little nice roofs with the peaks, to go on top of the tower, part of the castle, I didn't realize that I should have let them dry longer, or what I know now is I would have added CMC to that to stiffen the fondant. A lot of things I didn't know. So I just colored my fondant and made them, and so they kind of like drooped. It wasn't that bad because they looked kind of whimsical and cartoony, and the cake was for a 1-year-old. So till this day, she has never complained to me. So that I would say was my biggest cake fail. But in all honesty, I get asked this question a lot. What's your fail? Have you dropped a cake? If you knew me in real life, you would know, like, I am the most careful, better safe than sorry type of person. I'm extremely, extremely careful. We actually like edit out all the times that Jocelyn is like, relax, it's gonna be okay, because I get really nervous till this day about my cakes. So I always give yourself enough time and never underestimate how long it takes. Okay, I nod a lot, really. Okay, next one. Aww. Okay, this is from Yara Rosette Rodriguez. Don't have a question, but you were my inspiration. I hope to be as good as you one day. Thank you. I love that your name begins with Y. Yara, it's your destiny. That's what I feel. Okay. Okay, next. This is from Diana Perez. Can you please make a video how you make your fondant? Por favor. Obsessed with your videos. I don't make my own fondant. Main reason is I use way too much, and I would have a broken mixer by now if I made my own fondant. So I don't make my own fondant. Here in Toronto, fondant is very readily available. And I actually buy, I know you just see me with like whatever I'm going to use, but I actually buy like a 20-pound bucket of fondant. So I have lots of fondant, but I never make it just because I do everything else handmade. It would just stretch my process out so long that it's not really worth it for me. And like I said, I don't want to break my mixer. I'm already on my 3rd mixer and I don't even make fondant. So here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. I don't know why I'm singing. I'm sorry. Okay, this is from Tylee Sue. How can you make chocolate cake and frosting look as pretty as a colorful vanilla cake? That is a good question, because if you're using vanilla frosting or vanilla cake, you can dye both of those things. But if you're doing chocolate cake, you can only dye it darker than it is. So what about really fun things like edible confetti or sprinkles, or they make a lot of great candy beads or dragées that you could add to chocolate. I really love the way fruit looks with chocolate sometimes. I did a cake where I had chocolate buttercream on the outside, and then I lined the whole top with red raspberries, and that was really, really pretty. And something kind of like tart with all the chocolate. It's really nice. So yeah, there's a lot of great edible things that you can add to a chocolate cake to add color that way, rather than trying to dye it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to address this question because I get this a lot. This is from Alice Thornburg. Can you please start to write grams on everything? It's hard to Google what 1 cup is in grams and so on. Yes, I get asked this question a lot because I guess in other parts of the world, people measure differently. The reason I don't feel comfortable doing it is because until I convert my recipes and try them myself, I won't put the conversion on the blog. Because all I'm going to do is myself go on Google, or I have a really great app on my phone, Converter Plus. All I'm going to do is use an app, convert it, and write it there. And what if it's not right? Like, I've even made recipes, tried recipes out of a magazine that I felt didn't work, and then I just altered them myself. And usually when I bake, I have some recipes at home that are in grams and ounces, and I just use them the way that they are. I don't try to convert them to cups because I'm used to cups. I always try a recipe the way it is. And like I said, if I was ever going to write it on the blog, that means I need to go back and try them all and make sure that the conversion is right before I write it down. Because if I get it wrong, then everyone's going to write to me, I think this is wrong, I think that's wrong, and it could very well be wrong. So I'm really sorry, but for now, that's probably not going to happen because I don't feel comfortable telling you something will work when I don't know it will work. And I would have to stop shooting to go back and do all those recipes. So I can't do that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is from Alexandra Johnson. Oh, I like how you spell your name. What is your all-time favorite cake recipe, Yolanda? That's a good question. I did just mention coconut. I really love coconut cake. And I really love banana. And I love chocolate banana. So when I make chocolate banana cake, I layer alternate layers. So like I'll bake 1 chocolate cake and 1 banana cake, and then level them and cut them in half, and then alternate. And I'll put vanilla buttercream in the middle. That is my favorite cake because you get chocolate, you get like that good banana bread goodness. You got the vanilla. I love it. I could eat it for breakfast. I love it. Okay. This is from Dissociative Animal. Okay. Can I use the same decorating tip set for buttercream and royal icings? Absolutely. That was an easy question. Absolutely. Yes, you can. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wow. This is from Ronald Coates. Hello from Louisiana. Hello. Love your channel. My question is cookies, brownies, or cake? Which would you choose to eat first? That's hard. I think I need to make a cookie brownie cake. That's hard. Oh, I actually made a cookie brownie cake. Yes. On my blog, there's a cake called the Ultimate Breakup Cake. I bake 2 brownies as the cake layers. I fill them with buttercream, and then I make an eggless, very important to state this, eggless cookie dough. And I roll it into balls raw, and then that's layered into the cake. So you can have it. It looks like a cake, but it's brownies and cookies. It's fantastic. I would say I'm a sucker though for a brownie. I really like brownies. They're delicious. And I feel like you could eat a little one and it's so sad. When it's good, it's good. Okay. Next. Oh, hello, Vidya. I know I answered one of Vidya's questions already, but this is a good question. How do some pastry chefs achieve those pretty pink or violet gel-like glazes and also the chocolate mirror-like glaze? Okay. I am not a pastry chef. I am a cake decorator. I actually went to school to be a regular chef, like a cooking chef, and then I worked in bakeries. So I'm not a pastry chef, and I follow a ton of pastry chefs on Instagram because their work is gorgeous. So when they spray the chocolate, when they do those glazes that are so shiny or they look marble, I just think it is so beautiful. A lot of those glazes, I think, are similar to ganache, but have other things in them. Perhaps corn syrup, perhaps butter, something to stabilize it a bit more than ganache. But like I said, I'm not a pastry chef, so I don't know that answer for sure. And I never use glazes on novelty cakes just because they wouldn't look as real. That looks amazing on like a little plated individual dessert. It looks stunning, but it's a whole other medium. Okay. Okay, this is from True Furler. Hi, babes. Hi. Love you so much. That's so funny because that's what Jocelyn says. Hi, babes. I love you so much. I'm watching you every day when I go back home from school. You're so positive and full of energy. Oh, thank you. That's not a question, but thank you very much. I try and be positive. I want to thank the majority of you, the vast majority of you, for being very positive. I really love you for that because, you know, social media is amazing, but sometimes it brings out the worst in people, and that doesn't happen to me too often. So I'm very, very happy for the rest of you who enjoy what I do. That's why I try to do this cake talk and be a little more informative. I hope it's working. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is from, oh, again, True Furler. Hi from, oh, you're from Italy. I've never been to Italy. See, this is my map, and I have tacks in all the places I've been. There is no tack in Italy yet. What's the country you'd visit to? Oh my God, I want to go everywhere. I love to travel. I want to go everywhere. Italy is high on my list right now. So is Denmark. I would love to go to Norway. I would love to go back to Japan. That's no secret. Australia, Brazil. I would go everywhere. Iceland, everywhere. I would go Croatia, everywhere. Pretty much. I hope I get the chance to. Okay, so next. Sorry, some of the questions are so long, I don't want to read them incorrectly. Okay. I don't know. Oh, that's an excellent question. Tanishka's here every week as well. Do you like sugar stars or how to cake it? I like how to cake it. Don't get me wrong, there were things about sugar stars I really enjoyed, but TV and YouTube are very different things. Very different things. I won't get into that, but I like how to cake it because all the cakes you see me make on how to cake it are things that I really want to make, or you guys really want to see me make. I get to be myself 100%. I get to, I'm a bit of a control freak, so having other people in my kitchen was really hard for me. Really hard for me. And I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just I'm very used to my space, I work a certain way. So that was really hard for me to not be a control freak. But I think that Sugar Stars was the perfect sort of learning experience to bring me to how to cake it, because I went from sugar stars to then I went back to just sort of making cakes on my own for a little while. Then I got pregnant, had a baby, was on maternity leave, and in that time, Connie and Jocelyn, the two women who invented sugar stars, came to me and said, we want to do YouTube and we want to make a channel of you and your cakes. And little old me had no idea how big YouTube was. I think I'm a little too old for that. I didn't realize, how big it was. And at that point in my life, I just thought, this is kind of perfect because I have this small baby and I can just make videos and concentrate on that, and I don't have to worry about like taking orders and delivering them and being away from my son on the weekends, because that's what happens when you're a cake decorator. You don't have weekends. No, write that down. Write that down. Okay, I hope I answered that question. Okay. Okay. How about this? This is from, I think I got 2 questions that were the same, and now I can't remember. Okay. Bake it till you make it. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's good. That is good. I gotta write that down. What makes Italian meringue buttercream better than good old-fashioned buttercream? Okay, so there's basically 2 types of buttercream. There's like the American buttercream, which is, butter or shortening if you're trying to keep it white, icing sugar, there's probably a little milk or cream or something in it. And that's what I consider to be a little bit more like a frosting. It's called a buttercream because of the quantity of butter, but in terms of the way it works and how it can develop a skin, that's more of what I consider to be a frosting. There's Italian meringue buttercream and Swiss meringue buttercream, which are made with different methods, but are the same ingredients, and they both begin with a meringue. Swiss meringue, you heat your eggs and your sugar together over boiling water, then you whip them, then you add your butter and whatever else you're adding. Italian meringue, like what I make, you boil your sugar and water, you pour it into your whipped eggs, that becomes meringue, and then you add your butter and whatever else you're adding. I have been making, from the very first time I tried to make buttercream, I made Italian meringue buttercream. At a bakery where I had worked, a chef made it once, and I tasted it, and I was like, I'm in this club forever. So the first time I tried to make it at home, it didn't go too well. It's difficult. It's difficult. You need that thermometer. I still use the thermometer. I can't even count how many times I've made buttercream. I still use the thermometer because it makes me sad when I have to start all over again. So, but it's so delicious. It's so smooth. That's the difference. It's really, really, really smooth. It's a lot smoother than American buttercream. And I also find American buttercream sort of sweeter and heavier because it doesn't begin with meringue. And then icing sugar has a very different sweetness than regular sugar. There you go. This is from, I hope I say your name right, Naylor Strath. Hi from Dubai. I've been to Dubai. Yay! Can you tell me how you make a molten cake? Every time I try it doesn't work. Wow. Molten cakes are really popular. They're all over Pinterest. All over. I don't know what's not working. If you overbake them, they obviously don't like lava from the inside like they're supposed to. And then the other thing could be your temperature, or perhaps sort of fiddling with them too much in the oven. You don't want to do that. You kind of want to leave them alone. Not quite like a souffle, but yes, they need to sort of rise and stay soft in the middle. So maybe try another recipe than the recipe that you have. Don't assume when you find a recipe that it's perfect. It might not be. Try a different one. Okay. Next. Okay. I just saw a great question. I lost it. Oh, hi. It's from Yasmin. Yes, a Y name. Yasmin Martinez. What are your filling choices? Hi from San Diego. Hi. I've never been to California. I've got to go there. Okay. My filling choices. Well, I was just talking about it. I love Italian meringue buttercream. I love that you can flavor it. It really holds flavor well. I love coffee Italian meringue buttercream. I think it is so delicious. You can also flavor it with fruit purees, chocolate, vanilla bean, anything you like really. Pistachio paste, that's delicious too. Or hazelnut paste, anything. So I really love the versatility of Italian meringue buttercream as well as the texture of it. Love it. Okay. Next. Okay, let's go back to Instagram for a minute. Oh, wow. Okay, this is from, Omalara Diemi. I hope I said that right. Please do a slideshow of wedding cakes you have done in the past. Thanks. That would be a very long slideshow. But that's a good idea. A lot of people ask about cakes I've made in my past, like previous to How to Cake It or previous to even Sugar Stars. For those of you who don't know, I was on a Canadian Food Network show called Sugar Stars, where I made sweet tables along with 3 other people. One of them is Casper, who you have seen on 2 episodes of How to Cake It, and one of them is Antonella, who you have seen on my grilled cheese episode of How to Cake It. And so it aired in Canada, but then it also aired in like India, Brazil, Argentina. So I do have some viewers who already know me from that, and then some of you are like, "What is Sugar Stars? What are you talking about?" So yeah, that's what it is. But a lot of people ask about cakes I made before all of this happened. What's funny is a lot of them, because I started a long time ago, are not digital. So I should do a cake talk where I just hold up actual photographs of cakes. Yeah, I have a box with all of like the first cakes I ever made, which were all for, my mom or my sister or my friends or my cousins. So we should do that. Okay. Next, okay. I want to make some, this is from I Love Males. Nice. I want to make some bacon French toast cupcakes. And for the frosting, the recipe calls for maple syrup. I want to use your Italian Swiss meringue. It's just Italian. But Swiss meringue's good too. Frosting. So how would I incorporate the maple syrup into your recipe? Oh, I actually incorporate maple syrup into my buttercream on my pancake cake. If you go on my blog at howtocakeit.com, you can see the quantities that I used. But really you can just, actually, I think I eyeballed it. Really what you can do is have enough buttercream that you need for your cupcakes and just pour in maple syrup and taste it as you go. Different quality, I'm Canadian, so we need to get this straight. There are different qualities of maple syrup. There's different darknesses and different grades. So if you can find especially a grade A, a top grade maple syrup, it will just hold more flavor. And that will work better in your buttercream. It's also a little bit thicker. It's just a nice consistency. So make sure you get real, authentic maple syrup and buy the best one that you can find. Okay. Now, here's a great question. I get this a lot. This is from Pip. It ain't easy. You're telling me. That's why I quit. So I'm caking. How can I do the buttercream recipe if I don't have a stand mixer? That is a problem. And the reason that's a problem is that sugar is so hot at 240 degrees. You do not want to get that on your skin at all because it will definitely burn you. I once just got a drop flew out and hit me in the hand. And as soon as I picked the drop away, the top layer of my skin came with it. So ouch. And so that's why you need a stand mixer, because you need to be able to stand away from your mixer and pour that hot sugar. You also need the speed so that that sugar is just being added to your eggs very quickly and cooking them. and turning it into a meringue, rather than if you have a hand mixer and it's really not that fast enough and you can't get around the bowl fast enough and you're trying not to burn yourself and you're trying to stand back, that sugar will actually harden inside the buttercream like little bits of hard candy. You will find that happen in your stand mixer as well if you take your sugar over 240 degrees. Because once you get to 250 and up, you're already at hardball stage as opposed to softball, and you'll hear it as you add it to your mixer, as if somebody dropped hard candies into your mixer. It just starts to harden in the buttercream. So I absolutely do not suggest making it with a hand mixer just to save your skin and so that you won't burn yourself. And it'll just be a lot harder to get it right. And you need to add that sugar hot and get it all the way in all of the eggs. So I'm really, really sorry about that. If you want, you can try Swiss meringue. That would be easier with a hand mixer because, like I said, you heat the sugar and eggs in a bowl on a double boiler. Then you whip it, and then you add butter. So that would be the safer one to attempt. There's a ton of recipes for Swiss meringue buttercream online. It's definitely the most popular, I think. So good luck. Okay. Oh, okay. I can't read your name because it's in characters. I'm sorry. Hi, greetings from Singapore. Singapore is high on my list, and Malaysia. Firstly, you are amazing. Thank you. And my question, can you make a cake that looks like a person? Maybe yourself in the future. I get this request a lot. And I feel really strange about caking myself. I actually put out a challenge in a previous Cake Talk, can't remember what number, that if any of you out there want to cake me, it's like the Madame Tussauds of cake. If any of you out there want to cake me and put up a picture and tag me on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere, you are welcome to do so. But I feel weird caking myself. I feel like it's weird and it's like a little bit egotistical, and then what do? You know, at the end of how to cake it, I always have a slice. So you want me to cut into my face and eat a piece of my own face? I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So we have never added that request to the list yet. So I apologize. Maybe I'll work up the nerve one day, but for now, and I'm sorry everyone, time is up. I'm gonna get back to work. So thanks for coming. I'll be here again next time. What's next time? I don't even know what today is. That's horrible. Is today November 5th? Yes. So I will be here November 19th. Yeah, that's my best friend Bianca's birthday. Yay. Okay. Bye everyone.